I may or may not be wearing 2 different shades of eyeshadow and drinking really warm Red Bull. That's how this is gonna go. So let's get started. You're probably wondering, how the fuck did a doctor almost ruin your relationship? Well, let me fucking tell you. It started with a simple little lady issue. I've been having symptoms of a UTI for like a little bit, and I've been putting it off. And eventually it just got to the point where like the pain was just like unbearable. And I was having like a lot of tenderness, like a lot of cramping and stuff, and I finally went to the doctor. And the doctor was like pushing on my belly and stuff, like normal stuff, but he got down to the lower right portion of my abdomen. Abdomen. And he's pushing.
Can we just take a moment to realize that a demon something just fucking entered my body? And when it did, I messed up my word. I don't fucking know. Believe what you want. I didn't mess with this video. Yeah. Fuck!
Abdomen. And he's pushing, like, around where your appendix would be. And he pushes, and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, fuck. Don't fucking do that again. So, he has me sit up, and he tells me that, you know, you have a fucking UTI, bitch. And then he tells me that, you know, I'm a little bit worried about your pain level, you know, around your appendix. Sometimes you can have an infection in your appendix, and it can travel over to the bladder, stuff like that. Let me set something up for you. My body fucking hates me. It just hates me. Like, I can be walking down the street and bust a blood vessel in my eye. I could be taking a shower and my toe will fall off. Like, I just never know. I have a connective tissue disorder, which affects pretty much everything to do with my body, including my heart. So I'm usually aiming on the side of caution when it has to do with anything to do with my body. And so usually when there's something going on, or there may be something going on, I usually like get it checked out, just to rule it out. Normally it's nothing, but I usually just like, hey, let's make sure nothing's going on. When he said something about my appendix, you know, I was kind of worried, but it's nothing I've never heard before, and I was just like, I'm in too much pain. I want to get home. Like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not getting a scan today. I was like, if the pain doesn't go away, then sure, I'll come in and get a scan. So, yeah, there was my first mistake. 2 days passed, and I'm still in pain. Pain actually got worse. So, it was really late at night, and I ended up going to the ER with my boyfriend. If you know anything about my shitty little town and our shitty little hospital, you know it sucks. They get me back to a room, and I tell the ER doctor, who happens to be a male, the issues that I'm having. I told him that I'm being treated for a UTI, and the pain level that I'm having, and where the pain is, and everything like that. And he was like, well, we will certainly get you a scan to make sure it's not your appendix and everything like that. Everything's normal, everything's fine. They get me an IV started for fluids, and, you know, everything's fine. But he comes back into the room a few minutes later, and he asks my boyfriend to leave the room. And I was, like, thinking, like, what? Like, what? So my boyfriend gladly leaves the room so me and the doctor can talk. And the doctor leans back in the chair, puts his arms behind his head like this. Not even joking. Not even fucking joking. Like he's showing off some fucking swag right now. He's playing it fucking cool. And the whole conversation, mind you, he's sitting like this. And he says, so this UTI that you're claiming to have, the lab results came back. Because, hold up, when you instantly, like, urinate in the cup, they just do, like, like a little test, and it just shows like bacteria that could be in your urine at that time, and then after that they send it off for like a major culture at the lab and see if anything grows in like some shit. Fuck, I don't know. I don't.
I just spilled Gatorade all over the couch.
Anyways, he proceeds to tell me that nothing grew in the culture. So that tells you that I don't have a UTI. I was just suffering from UTI-like symptoms. He's like, okay, you're having UTI symptoms, but nothing grew in the culture, so you don't really have a UTI. So you're sexually active, right? Because you have a boyfriend. I'm like, bitch, I'm like 24. Yeah. like I ain't no none. He's like, do you use protection every time you have sex? Yeah. That's pretty hard to do. I'm laying in my bed, like all fucking comfy, like laying in my fucking bed in my fucking gown with like no fucking bra on, you know, fucking naked, laying in my bed, my fucking IV in, you know, some shit's going on, you know, just laying there. Hold up. Laying there. And he tells me, it's hard to use protection every time. You know what my thoughts are? While I'm in pain, laying in a hospital bed, I'm thinking, bitch, do you have a 5-year-old that screams at you, tells you no, yells mommy every 5 seconds? You must not have kids. So I'm thinking, bitch, you thought, like, fuck, man, like, you did not. So I look at him and I'm like, yes. Yes, I do use protection every time. Yes, it is hard. But some of us can control our sexual urges. The rest of the conversation goes like this. He tells me that the burning on urination and the other types of symptoms that I'm having, because plug your ears if you're a guy, whatever, this, I don't care, I'm no book. I told him that I could possibly have a yeast infection right now because of the antibiotics that I'm on. They can give you a yeast infection, like, whatever. So he said, like, and the type of discharge that you could be having and everything, you know, that could be symptoms of an STD. And I'm like, bitch, you really think I have an STD right now? You're really fucking telling me that I have an STD right now? Right now. You're accusing me of having an STD right now. And I looked at him and I was like, it's just me and you in the room right now. Just me and you. You let my boyfriend's out of the room. I would let you know if I was being unfaithful. I would let you know if I was dicking out some other dude. No. Nope. 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 Got stock of condoms. Ain't wanting no babies. Dude. And this guy, I mean, he was probably even younger than me. And he was just automatically making this assumption. Now, I do respect the fact that this opinion was on his list of things that possibly could be, and that he wanted to rule it out. So I let it. My boyfriend enters his room, and of course he's a little like, why did you make me leave your room? So I explained everything to him, and he's instantly like, I mean, what guy wouldn't? When he hears that a doctor is accusing me of having an STD, he's like, girl, can I really trust you right now? Like somebody with a PhD is saying your pussy's out of whack. Like, and I'm looking at him like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah. Can you trust me now? Like, really? Yeah. So, he was cool for a few minutes, and I was cool for a few minutes. And then I'm like, it starts getting in my fucking head, you know, it starts getting in my fucking head. Like, okay, what if I do have a fucking STD? Like, what if? Where did it come from? So I literally asked the question. Because, like, I've heard people say this before and didn't know if it was true or not. I literally asked the question. I was like, can you get an STD from a toilet seat? And the nurse is like, not unless you're doing some freaky shit on the toilet. No, that's not me. So, yeah. No. The nurse leaves, and after my boyfriend hears that, he's like, where did this come from? And I'm like, I don't know. Where did it come from? You know, I kind of got smart back at him, and then we start arguing, and, it wasn't even necessarily, like, we're arguing over, like, the STD. Like, we were arguing about, like, other things, and it was just, like, a full heated, like, conversation. And, like, I was just like, go, like, leave, like, I can't do this right now, like, I don't want arguing right now, like, I'm under enough stress, like, I don't know if I have appendicitis, I don't know what's going on fucking down there, like, you know, like, some crazy shit happens down there, babies come from there, and fuck, I could have some venereal disease. So I was like, just go. Like, I am not fighting right now, I can't deal with this right now. I was like, just leave. Like, I got that fucking insane. Then the doctor comes in. You know, stare at my goods, poke around at him, swab at him. Well, I'm crying like a bitch. The doctor tells me, after looking at my lady parts, he's like, yeah, I really think you have an STD. Like, I don't think it's this, I don't think it's that, but I totally think it's an STD. Like, yeah, like, you're a piece of trash, you're a piece of shit, like, you totally have an STD. Like, that's what I was hearing. Like, that's what I was hearing laying in this bed with my legs spread. Like, that's what I was fucking hearing. That's all I was hearing. Like, you're a piece of shit, go to hell, like, you're a prostitute, you're fucking dirty, go back to your fucking trash can, bitch. And the nurse the whole time is like, it's okay, sweetie, just wait for the test, don't worry, just calm down. She's even, like, rubbing my knee, like, and he's just walking around like, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and treat you for all this. So they bring in, like, a shot of antibiotics, and they put it in my IV. Then they bring in 8 pills for me to take. Then they prescribe me 2 rounds of antibiotics, 2 different types of antibiotics, to cover a whole range of STDs that I could possibly have, without even knowing first. But, because I didn't know, and he was just so damn sure that I had an STD, I had to take it, you know? Long story short, I get my scan done, you know, I didn't have appendicitis. I text my boyfriend, I'm like, okay, I have to leave after they gave me, like, pain meds and everything, and they ended up giving me morphine, which was unnecessary, but I took it at the time, because I was in fucking pain, and I was pissed off, and I was like, please, calm me the fuck down. He came back to pick me up. I explained everything to him, and, yeah, so basically, I got results at night stating that I didn't have, like, half of the STDs that were, like, on the board of STDs, and I couldn't get the rest of the results until the next morning. So it was kind of like this the whole night, you know, like, when are we gonna find out? So I wake up really early the next morning, and I call, and the lady it's kind of like Mari, like, or Maury, or whatever you call it, and they're reading off, like, the list of, like, you are found to be not the father of, you are found to be not the father of, and it's kind of like that. She's reading off, you are found to be not, I don't know, not in possession of this venereal disease, you know? And then she gets to the very last thing. The very last thing. She names off this really long word of something that I have. And my boyfriend instantly goes from, like, this to this. Like, bitch, like, where have you been, you know? And I'm just like, you know, and I write it down, and I'm like, what is this? And she's like, well, it's kind of an STD, kind of not. And I'm like, okay. Like, what department are you working in? Like, where did you get your degree? She's just like, just look it up. The medications you're taking should cover it, and yeah, you should be fine. So, again, plug your ears if you're not okay talking about vaginas and vaginal health. I go to look it up. You want to know what it is? A normal bacterial infection. Not a yeast infection. The opposite of a yeast infection. A bacterial infection. That you can get by not having enough yeast in your vagina. I've had them before. Not by sleeping around. And you can't get it from a guy, because a guy doesn't have a vagina. You can get it by sleeping with a girl. No, I haven't slept with a girl. Thank you, Shitty Town Hospital. Thank you for almost ruining my fucking relationship because my boyfriend almost thought I was a trashy slut. Because why wouldn't he? I mean, after a doctor tells you that. Ah, fuck! That's about it. I mean, thank God I still have a relationship and my vagina is not crawling around with venereal diseases. This doctor won't be seeing him anytime soon.